Right, this is the YouTube video to solve two-step equations. So last class, we looked at one-step equations where we had to do one opposite operation and then we solved it. For this unit, we're going to have to do two steps in order to solve for our variable. So the first thing that we're going to do is use an opposite operation to get the variable by itself. So the variable term is 2x. So I'm just going to put a little box around that. I need to move everything else first. So I need to get rid of that plus 3. So I'm going to do that by subtracting 3 from both sides. In doing so, I get 2x on the left side, the 3's cancel out, and then 5 minus 3 gives me 2 on the right. Now I've narrowed it down to one final step. Since 2 is being multiplied by x, I'm going to undo that by dividing both sides by 2. I get x by itself, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. For the next problem, my variable term is negative 2x, so that means I need to get rid of the negative 7 first. Because 7 is being subtracted, I need to add 7 to both sides to undo it. That leaves me negative 2x on the left and then 22 on the right. The 7's canceled out. Now it's back down to one step where negative 2 is being multiplied by x, so I'm going to undo it by dividing both sides by negative 2. 22 divided by negative 2 is negative 11. Be careful and watch out for your signs. Don't lose track of them. Third example we're going to look at, 6x is the variable term, so that means that plus 5 needs to go. So the opposite of adding 5 is subtracting 5 from both sides. That leaves me with 6x is equal to 12 when the 5 and negative 5 cancel each other out. Next, since 6 is being multiplied by x, I need to divide both sides by 6. That gives me a final answer of positive 2. Go ahead and do these for you tries by yourself. I will give you the answers, but not the work. When I check this, when I come back to school on Monday, I'm going to need to see both of your steps done out. So pause now and try them. All right, we got 3 more examples to finish out this video. First one is very similar to the first 3 that we did. First, we have to isolate the variable term, so get that 5x by itself. Since it's being added to 3, we need to subtract 3 from both sides to undo it and get that x term alone. I have 5x on the left and 20 on the right. 5 is being multiplied by x, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. That leaves me with x equals positive 4. The next one looks a little scary because there is a division bar and a fraction, but we're going to still do the same exact steps. So isolate the variable term, so that's that negative d over 6. So we need to get rid of that plus 12 first, so we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. That gives me that negative d over 6 is equal to negative 19. Now to undo a division with that negative 6, the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by negative 6. On the left, the negative 6 and negative 6 cancel, leaving us just the d. And on the right, negative 19 times negative 6 is positive 114. The last example we're going to look at also has a fraction, but same first step as the other 2, where we need to isolate the variable term first. So that minus 3, we need to undo that by adding 3 to both sides. I get 3 over 5x is equal to positive 9. Now, in last class, we learned to get rid of a fraction that's multiplied by x, we need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, and that's 5/3. I'm going to help myself out by making 9 over 1 just so I can keep track of what's in the numerator and what's in the denominator. Right on the left, the 5's and the 3's cancel, leaving me just x. On the right, I multiply across the top. 9 times 5 is 45. And across the bottom, 1 times 3 is 3. Always check to see if you can reduce that, and you can. 45 divided by 3 is 15. Right, here's 3 more you tries. Please do these. Show all work. Pause now, and you can check your answers once you finish those 3. Thank you for listening to this video, and I will see you next class.